guys, it's DM, and today we're talking about how I actually filed for bankruptcy in 2014, Chapter 7, but in only 7 short years, I was able to turn that completely around, and I became financially free, a millionaire, it sounds funny to say, semi-retired at the age of 35, and now Jake and I, we just travel the world, and we do what we love, and what I love to do is make YouTube videos for you, so let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back, and you're watching Lifestyle Leaps, where I try to help you take big steps towards living the life of your dreams and retire early and be financially free by sharing my experiences. Today we're going to talk about how I was managing to go from bankruptcy to completely financially free in 7 years. I just think it blows my own mind, honestly. I'm like, dang girl, how you do that? So right now we're gonna talk about how I did that. Okay, so it's important to kind of get an idea of what my background looks like, because you might be like, well, how are you so financially savvy now, but you were so dumb then? Let's talk about it. So if you remember, I was born in Vietnam, literally lived in a hut, okay? No water, no electricity. Immigrated to Minnesota with my mom and my grandparents, had $100 to our family name. A few years later, my dad, who I lost contact with, had found me, and then I moved to California to live with him. And he gave me the opportunity to go to college for free because our family was so poor that I was able to get the FAFSA grant. And so coming out of college, I was debt-free. Probably the best thing that could have happened, but I still didn't have any financial education. I went to school for business marketing and human resource. They talk about economics on the big scale, but not personal finance or money management really, right? I started my own business pretty close after college. It was a house cleaning business. I did a pretty good job creating a business plan like I learned in school, estimating the numbers, creating a budget and all of that, but my lack of experience led me to learn that things ended up costing more than I had planned for. In addition to that, I was also having to support my current lifestyle, you know, eating and dining out and groceries and bills and whatever, while my business was starting to grow. In that process, I also had kind of this imposter syndrome of being a business owner. And so when I would go out and network with people, I'd be like, oh, let me pay for that. And it's also part of my culture too, to be really generous. So I was doing that way earlier than I should have. I didn't have the resources to do that yet. So between spending more than I should, living expenses, and the business costing more than I anticipated, the original cash nest egg that I had saved up to start this business wasn't going to last. I accrued $60,000, $70,000 worth of debt on my credit card over the course 3.5 years, almost 4 years of starting the business. The business was finally starting to take a turn for a reasonably profitable state to where I can start pulling in income. But I did the math and I realized that for me to continue to grow the business and pay the debt down simultaneously, it was just gonna take forever. I luckily had only unsecured debt, which means that they were on my credit card. I didn't have debt against a car or against, oh, well, I sold my car and I was driving a hoopty, or a house or anything like that. So I was able to get the Chapter 7 bankruptcy discharge relatively easy. Now, I had to make a choice, either do that or do debt consolidation, which seemed really consuming, right? To talk to all these lenders and try to consolidate your debt while trying to run and grow a business as a mid-20s person. I decided I was going to file for the Chapter 7 bankruptcy after doing a lot of research, but I also decided that I would never have to again, because I'm gonna learn a lesson and I'm gonna make use of this amazing thing that I only know to happen in America, the ability to file for bankruptcy and start over. So I took the plunge and I did it with a plan that I was never gonna file for bankruptcy again. After doing the research, I realized that I could still build my credit once I filed for bankruptcy, or rebuild my credit. I also found home loans that you can get shortly after having filed for bankruptcy. And I also learned that creditors will still pursue you to offer you credit once you filed for bankruptcy, knowing that you can't do it again for years and years. So I went ahead and I filed my credit, you'd be surprised, but it wasn't affected that much because up until the point that I filed for bankruptcy, I continued to make on-time payments. So there was no derogatory marks on my credit based on late payments. It was only because of one major issue, which is that I filed for bankruptcy. So it went from like maybe the mid 700s range to the super high 600. I think it was still like 690 or something like that. I was shocked. And so then I leased a car shortly after that to start rebuilding my credit, and I swapped out my hoopty ride. And then 2 years after the bankruptcy, I was able to use an FHA loan to buy my first owner-occupied home. And because the last 2 years I had started to steadily incline on my W-2, because my business is set up as an S corporation, so I issued myself a W-2 payroll paycheck that was able to be verified by the lender, which is the best way if you're going to try to get lending on your home and you're self-employed. Having a W-2 really helps. I bought my first home, and then I had roommates, and I had a unit in the back that I rented out, and I saved money super fast. And then I was able to buy another home that was owner occupied. I think that was like a couple years later, 16 to 18, 2 years later. And then from that, I waited another 2 or 3 years and bought a third home, right? So you guys know I've been talking about house hacking and how to convert your units to get major rents and supercharge your savings. I'll link the video at the end if you want to look into that. But literally with the 3 homes, growing my business over time, eventually I realized that I had such a stellar system in my business that I created an online course for other people to learn how to start their own house cleaning referral agency and make the kind of money that I was making. Between those 3, my net worth was $1 million. And I was able to replace myself within my business. So I have my virtual assistant running the day-to-day options because there aren't very many operations to run. I mean, it was just so systematized and proper. I realized that I was then free to do whatever I wanted, and whatever I wanted was to make YouTube videos for you. And this is like my next journey, is to make YouTube videos and grow this channel and help you get to where I am, which is not even crazy far. Like the people that I look up to and watch on YouTube are so stellar, awesome, but that's not my personal life goal. My personal life goal is just to be financially free, feeling safe and comfortable in not having to do the kind of work that I don't want to do or have a boss above me, being able to travel and live my life with my husband. If we choose to have a family and have kids, we will literally be retired at-home parents. I mean, this is the life that America affords you, and I just think it's insane that I was able to literally go from 0 to semi-retired in 7 years, which means to me that wherever you are in your life right now, it's never too late to start, it's never too early to start. You can do it, and you can exceed everything that I've accomplished and do way better than me because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I hope that resonates with you in some way, and I love you, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do that and hit the like button. I'll see you later.